Madam Chair, Dr. Witherspoon, members of the board, members of the administration, and ladies and gentlemen in attendance in person or online. Good evening. My name is Richard Moore, a retired Richland One educator, grandparent, volunteer, and recent school board candidate. And let me begin by saying I am truly saddened by the fact that I feel the need to come and address the board tonight. During my campaign, I stated a number of times that I was concerned about issues in District 1. Tonight, I find myself in need of much stronger words. I am distressed that the district has been placed on fiscal watch by the State Department of Education. I am distressed about the fact that there were board members that were not immediately notified when the latest findings were issued on October 27th, especially given the fact that this action was a follow-up to a warning the district received in April. The appropriate practice would be for the superintendent to notify at least the board chair of such a determination, and yet no one made sure that other board members were notified. I am distressed that the district response to the audit states, and I quote, "None of the findings were significant enough or rose to material impact." Official warnings are not issued over insignificant issues, and even if the district does not see it as significant, the oversight agency does. Even one finding of concern is significant and more than we should tolerate. I am distressed that the actions the district response states will be taken amount to reminding employees of policies and procedures, employees that should never have to be reminded of such given the level of responsibility with which they are entrusted. I am distressed that even while responding to calls for an audit on the part of some board members and the superintendent and board chair repeatedly stating an audit was a good idea, the administration seems to have ignored the recommendations of its own auditor's findings. These are not examples of the board and administration working together for the benefit of students. They are not examples of the good communications and transparency needed to build community trust. And these are not examples of raising staff morale. In fact, I am horrified that we expect staff members to be our best recruiting advocates when they are guaranteed to be met with those who will not want to come to work in a district where financial impropriety seems, at the very least, considered of no significance by the superintendent and some members of the board. This is an abandonment of the responsibility and trust placed in you by those you represent. Thank you for your time and hopefully your attention.
Again, thank you, Mr. Moore. And again, the board will respond to you in writing within 7 to 10 business days. Next, we have Mr. George Crouch.
Good evening. I'm George Crouch. The recent action by South Carolina Department of Education to place Richland School District 1 on fiscal watch speaks loudly. The focus of attention, the P-card usage. That action alone is an embarrassment to the parents, the students, the teachers, and the community that support Richland School District 1. The P-card misuse, not exactly rampant, but is worrisome. And this is not the first time the mishandling of purchases and the purchasing process has received criticism and scrutiny from the state. I don't want to think that the board has been unaware of this behavior, but I see little to convince me otherwise. I'm asking the board to oversee the P-card purchases and related processes. A firmer stance on misuse, whether intentional or not, needs to have consequences. Please remove this embarrassing cloud from our school district. The great community that gives so much to this next generation deserves it. Thank you. And there's no need for a response. I'll just take actions over words any day. But I also would be amiss if I did not wish each of you, everyone in the room and everyone watching, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Again, Mr. Crouch, board will not respond on tonight, but we will respond to you. We will respond